Mismatches can be difficult to deal with, but there is one strategy you can use to 3-star them consistently. So let's break down the army and how you can use it, along with an example to help you 3-star Town Hall 18s as a Town Hall 16. Now this army is broken up into 3 parts: the Warden Walk and ZapQuake, the King and Queen Funnel, and the Thrower Smash. On screen is how each part of this army is laid out to crush Town Hall 16, Town Hall 17, and even Town Hall 18 bases. However, consider using my credit code Corrupt to support me and the channel. First things first, we have the Warden Walk and ZapQuake. With the Warden Walk, you are using this to set up pathing and control for your throwers. Often paired with the Warden and healers is 2 furnaces, as they offer great damage over time, allowing you to speed up the Warden Walk funnel, especially with the Warden holding the life and rage gem. Using this double passive equipment combo enables your Warden to do more damage, as both gems offer a DPS increase that allows them to be used together within Warden Walks. It's also recommended to not walk longer than a minute of the attack to prevent time fails down the line. As for the ZapQuake, it's often used after you start the Warden Walk. Usually this should be used in areas where you can get 2 or more defenses down. Oftentimes key defenses like the crafted defenses, revenge tower, monolith, etc., or clearing rage spell tower compartments, especially if they are in the core of the base. This overall gives you value while shutting down key threats to your throwers. Once both have been satisfied, use the throwers to lure over the Warden, but you will also need to cut off the other side of the funnel to control your throwers even more. With that said, the Barbarian King and Archer Queen should be used to set up that funnel. Using both heroes sets up a stronger funnel while also clearing out some key defenses. With the Barbarian King's high HP, thanks to the Spiky Ball Snake Bracelet combo, he can tank for quite a long time, and if he does enter into the base instead of funneling, you are completely fine. This is due to the Queen having her action figure and magic mirror, allowing her to do high DPS while safely behind a tanky giant. Pairing this funnel with an Ice Golem does give you more survivability with the decent tanking and death freeze, allowing your King and Queen to set up better funneling while also clearing out buildings and defenses easier. You also have a single druid to provide a bit of healing to your King and Queen to keep them in the fray for a wee bit longer. However, siege machines are just as important, with the 2 options being the siege barracks and the log launcher. Both have their strengths and weaknesses, but to simplify things, the siege barracks is often better to use when you can use super wall breakers through the base into the core. This allows for much better funneling and tanking with your King and Queen, with the addition of the P.E.K.K.A.s and wizards with the King and Queen. This also helps if you're using your throwers directly towards the town hall, as the log launcher won't really do as much in this situation. But if you're either attacking away from the town hall or you cannot reach the core via super wall breakers, the log launcher becomes a stronger option, as it can open a lane for your main push to dive into the core and even past that, while also giving you additional troops to tank and help out the throwers from the CC. That then leads us to the Thrower Smash. Keep in mind, throwers have a 6-tile range, allowing them to reach defenses normal troops can't reach. So as they're working around the base early on, use an Ice Golem to tank for them, in addition to using a few balloons to scout for air traps. As you work inside the base with the throwers and either opening walls with the super wall breakers or the log launcher, your throwers are being supported by the Grand Warden with his life gem and rage gem, giving them 3,500 HP to work with, in addition to a damage increase of 787 per hit. This gives more than enough power to your throwers as they work inside the base. Obviously, you're going to want to deal with the defensive CC with a poison spell, but as for your other spells, you want to use them as your throwers reach the core of the base, such as totem spells to distract high DPS defenses like the Revenge Tower or the Long Shot, while having free spells for mostly multi-target damage like the Fire Spitters or multi-target Infernos. As for the Rage spell, use this to power your throwers up as they move from the core towards the back end of the base, dealing increased damage and allowing them to clear areas of the base with ease thanks to their range. You also have the Royal Champion in this army to be used on the back end of the base. Often it's best to use her on the same side as your Barbarian King and Archer Queen funnel to often allow her to get additional value on her own while clearing defenses. She has her Electro Boots to keep skeleton traps away while doing some passive damage to defenses around her, while also having the Rock rocket spear to snipe buildings from a distance, giving both herself and the throwers more space. Just remember to always use any leftover troops as cleanup and try to keep as many heroes alive as you can so you do not end up time failing as I so often did while crafting this guide. With an understanding of how this army works, this army comp is really all you need to take out max Town Hall 18s as a Town Hall 16. However, let's give you a visual example of how this works so you never fail with this army. To keep things simple, we're going to be starting with the Grand Warden, Furnaces, and Healers to set up a bit of a funnel with a Warden walk. We want to use this first, and while this is going on, we can use our ZapQuake to clear out a Rage Spell Tower compartment, allowing us to clear the Multi-Inferno Rage Spell Tower and the Ricochet Cannon, giving us great value in not just pathing, but also just getting rid of some key threats to our throwers. Otherwise, we can just let the Warden do his own thing. Since both gems have the DPS increase, they can both be a viable choice in Warden walks. It just might not be nearly as quick as something as the Fireball and Rage gem. Otherwise, you are not really missing much, especially with the Furnaces providing that damage over time. Otherwise, once the Warden has set up the funnel enough, we can lure him over with the use of throwers. This allows us to control where the Warden goes as they start working towards the entry point, where we can use the Barbarian King and the Archer Queen to set up the other side of our funnel. Keep in mind, throwers have a long range, so they are able to reach defenses that are well above or well further away from them, allowing you to easily clear compartments without entering into them. This is why we have the log launcher to work into the base, since we are going from the opposite side of the town hall. So while the Archer Queen is helping to set up funnel with the Barbarian King, even if he goes in, we're going to be completely fine. You also have a poison to deal with the CC, especially the Furnace, as you work in, where you can have the log launcher with the Super Yeti and the Ice Golem provide a lot of support. So as they dive in a little bit deeper, you have a totem spell to distract high DPS defenses like the long shot, but you're also using a rage spell to power everything up as they start to work in. You can even use free spells over things like the Revenge Tower, the Multi-Gear Tower, etc. in order to prevent too much damage. In this case, you also have the Royal Champion, where her Rocket Spear and Electro Boots becomes really important on the back end. So while the throwers are working around, with the help of the Warden under the Life Gem and Rage Gem, they're going to be able to do more than enough while your Royal Champion is working around the base to clear any back-end defenses. This overall gives you more than enough power as you move around that you are still using cleanup troops though, in order to make sure that you're not time failing. But otherwise, due to throwers and their high damage per hit and long range, they are absolutely a very good troop to have in most situations against a Town Hall 18. As you encounter more Town Hall 18s, this army should give you a safe way to 3-star no matter the design. Might be tricky at first, but will become a reliable go-to strategy when dealing with mismatches within wars or CWL. However, I recommend checking out this video covering the best armies for every Town Hall level, while YouTube says you might prefer this video instead.